All right, at this point, you should have completed all of the cognitive assessments in your packet. And we're going to go through and talk about what each one will tell you about your personality. Now remember, cognitive explanations of personality focus on the mental patterns we have about how we interpret life events and the roles we assign ourselves and others, and how that influences our behavior in general and within specific groups or people. So the cognitive patterns we will do second, but these patterns consider how we think about and interpret our world. And constructs are how we create collections of behaviors that form like a mental set. It could be love versus hate, good versus bad, smart versus funny. And as we do this, we assign people roles, and the way we assign and define those roles influences our behavior around those people and impacts our interactions with those people. So for 15-15, you should already have written down a list of names. Now you will form triads to see how you assign roles. Pick any 3 people on your list. Think about how 2 are alike and 1 is different from the other 2 on those same criteria. For example, maybe 2 are open-minded and 1 is closed-minded. Build a few triads and see what descriptors you come up with. These are the roles you have assigned these folks and characteristics you have assigned to these roles. After you've played with this for a few minutes, write down what you see for this section. Go ahead and pause the video and take a few minutes with 15-15. Next, you're going to look at the personal control or locus of control quiz. Personal control or locus of control is our sense of controlling our environment rather than the environment controlling us. This was quiz 15-16. Now, to score this, you're going to want to reverse your scores for 3, 6, 7, 8, and 10. So you'll just do the opposite number of what you originally assigned it using the scale on that quiz. Now, if you have a score of above a 40, you have an internal locus of control. This means that you believe you control your own fate. If you have a score below a 40, this means you have an external locus of control. This means you believe that outside forces or chance determine your fate. If you have an internal locus of control, you feel like you're mostly in control of life events. This is a much more powerful attitude because you can change what you can control. People with internal loci of control are more likely to have good health. If you look on the page after the last of these quizzes, there's a link that you can go to and you can see more about locus of control. Also, you can read more about learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is a hopelessness or passive resignation an animal or human learns when unable to avoid repeated aversive events. The first studies of this were done with dogs, and they would put dogs in a little setup like shown in the bottom right picture. They would shock them on side A, and the dog could jump over to side B. For some dogs, when they went to side B, the shock ended. For other dogs, they continued to be shocked on side B. Dogs that were continued to be shocked would just lay down and start to look like the poor little puppy on the left. Dogs that were not shocked when they went over to side B continued to be happy, healthy, and seemed unaffected by the experiment. The next cognitive quiz were the life orientation and explanatory styles. This is actually quiz 15-18, so we're skipping and then going back. And you may have heard of the difference in optimists and pessimists. Gary Larson defined 4 different personality types. The glass is half full, the glass is half empty. Half full, no wait, half empty, no wait, what was the question? And then, hey, I ordered a cheeseburger. But the glass is half full and the glass is half empty are basic styles of optimism and pessimism. And these are how we explain life events. For this quiz, you're going to want to reverse your scores for 3, 8, 9, and 12. And your scores could range from a 0 to a 48, and the average among college students is about a 21. If you have a high score above 24, you're an optimist. Below a 24, you're a pessimist. If you're an optimist, you tend to believe things will work out, and so you're less likely to give up. Again, optimists do much better in life because they continue to keep trying. Again, you can look on that page in your packet and you will see a link there that you can go to read more about optimism and pessimism. The last quiz you took were satisficers versus maximizers. For this one, you don't have to reverse anything. You just add up your scores. And if you're below a 52, you're a satisficer, meaning good enough is okay with you. If you're above a 52, you're a maximizer, meaning you accept only the best. Now, maximizers are more successful, but not necessarily more happy. They are also more likely to compare themselves with others. This is one where you probably want to score kind of in the middle, because if you're a really high maximizer, you probably aren't very good at relaxing because you're always trying to do better and better and better. But if you're a really strong satisficer with a really low score, you're probably not going to accomplish much, and people are probably going to get pretty tired of buying you lunch all the time. Take a few minutes and think about how these cognitive patterns have affected who you are and how you behave in life. How did these contribute to not only your patterns of thinking, but also your patterns of acting and feeling? And think about what would cognitive psychologists have to say about you and what would they look for in you. Finally, talk with your group about strengths and weaknesses of this approach to psychology. If you finish with time left in class, go back to your vocabulary and see if you can fill in a few more of your vocabulary words using what we've learned yesterday and today.